guys, it's me, Ruowen Huang. Happy Chinese New Year's to you all. We're still not Chinese New Year yet, but I know some of you already celebrated. But anyway, happy Chinese New Year. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Today, I want to talk about what can I do for you. Kind of confusing. You may not know what I'm talking about, but it's mostly focusing on those people. Like, I believe many of us, or even including ourselves, will deal with some kind of struggle in life. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. And throughout the years, I have many clients like this, and I also have many of you who would like to know how you can help out with, friends or relatives like this, right? So here, I thought I'd just share a little bit personal experience or opinion with you all, and then see, how to make a better world. So, the topic is what can I do for you? Or for them, for someone you love or whatever, right? To start it, I think I will share a recent case I experienced or I have with you all. I know many of you already heard the story, but I would talk about it again because I talk about it in the chat time, right? So here I am. I'll bring it out again. Not long ago, I had this young client. Who is great athlete. It's like a whole family are athletic, right? But then he being struggle with this particular skill that he's not able to break through. He's not able to, have a breakthrough. He seemed to stalk it for a really long time. So basically, he's a diver, great diver. In very young age, but then, all of a sudden he had this fear or his anxiety toward this back dive, which is you backflip and then curve up and then dive into the water, right? So he is excelling in every dive, but only this particular dive, he seems to have anxiety and then he cannot break through, right? Overcome it. So he was all okay on land practice, which you do it on the land practice, but somehow when he go onto the dive board, no matter how low or how high the dive board is, he had difficulty with backflip dive. So sure enough, we set a meeting and have a talk with him. With a young client, I don't usually like to go talk spirits. No, I don't. I like to make it logical, So if you're many young client like me, you're my young client, you probably notice that I will not talk about your past life. I will not talk about a spirit. I will not talk about ghosts. Let's talk about what we can work on. So that's exactly what we did on the first exercise. I teach him how to, relax and bring him to the present and see. Let's start breathing. Let's work on the breathing and then see if that will calm you. So then I sent him back to do dive, right? But after 2 weeks, we realized it get a little bit better, but not really. That means he is not really able to overcome. So no matter how he practices his breathing method, by the time he had to die, he still got anxiety and he cannot do it. So sure enough, we set up a second meeting, and this time we decide to do it my way. My way is we may have to dig deeper and then find out what's the really cause of it, right? So this time I choose to regress him and bring him back directly to the source. The source that I saw, or I kind of have a sense of it, but then I had suspicion, put it this way. I have suspicion, but I wasn't 100% certain, right? So during regression, I was pretty surprised that he can get into the situation very clearly without telling him anything or anything I saw. I pretty much tell him, I want you to tell me what happened, right? And he brought me to this particular life, like he was in by the beach on the cliff, and then he had to make a decision to jump. Not really jump. He basically got pushed. So then he had to jump, right? But then during that he had to, in his mind, he come up with exactly sentence that he often, trouble him when he was on the dive board is, I can't make it. I cannot make it, right? So Now we understand what that sentence come from. We understand that is the sentence that he is thinking he's gonna die. He can never make it to the beach. There's no way he can survive. So sure enough, during this exercise, I mentioned, oh, why did you jump or something that he mentioned, like there's someone he trusts pushing him off. To the kids, we don't really want them to hang on to who it is that they see or something, but in this particular exercise, I'm focusing on asking him to detach himself from that scenario, have to make that decision to jump from the cliff, right? So because of regression, usually would make people very tired and drained sometimes, so I decided not to make it a long section, but try to make it a shorter section and focusing on exercise that help him detach himself from the dive board and the cliff, right? So then I sent him off to do the dive again and say, observe yourself, see if he help. If he doesn't improve anything, then you can always come back again. So then after that, he went off and do couple dive again, but then it didn't get better. Instead, it seems to get a little bit worse, right? And this time, it started getting me thinking, I must be overlooked something that is important, but then I overlook it. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens when you consult so many people in a daily basis. You might think what's important is actually not as important as to clients. So obviously, if he still suffers through anxiety, there's something other than jumping from the cliff that's really bothering him. So if it was not until a couple of days later, I would try to discuss his condition with his parents, I start to realize the things that I overlooked because I thought it's him jumping off the cliff that is scaring him. But then it dawned me at that point, realize what really troubled him at that time is during the regression, he kept saying, is someone I trust pushing me off the cliff. And then, I trust him. How can he push me, right? He said it by passing, and I overlook it. It's not until I talked to the parent, I realized the feeling of people surrounding us continue saying, just get over it, just dive. What's the big deal? Just do it. Just push your limit, just do it, right? Just do what we say, we believe it, it's not a big deal. Then you can get over it. It's that feeling for him, like pushing someone I love, I trust, then push me off the cliff. That sensation stimulate exactly the same sensation as he was when he was on the cliff, right? So now you wonder what I'm telling you this story. You realize it actually same as many of us when we are dealing with struggle in life, when we feel like we were in that cliff, and then there are people around us, love us, simply tell us, just do it, just go out, just get better, just think positive. That's no different. Why many of us don't understand why can we be better? We already know what we should not do, but why can we be better? You know what I mean? So anyway, through the conversation, the parent was saying, I realized at this point, what he needs is a support. What parent interpreted it is, so I just don't let him go. I said, not necessary. As a parent myself, I would try everything I can to help my kids overcome their fear, because I'm not here to embrace their fear. By allowing them not to deal with their fear, I'm not really helping them. Does that make sense to you? So as a kid, I get it. You may not like it, but you will understand by us trying to help you overcome your fear, it goes a long way. So then I share my story with her. My son used to be very afraid of water, and I'm not even joking. It's like when you go to a swimming pool, a drop of water land on his body, he will cry and scream for hours. That goes to shower. So every day, when he was baby, every time we want to give him a bath, you know how everybody say, just give your baby a bath and then they will have a great sleep, right? It didn't work for us. Every time we want to, since the day he was born, we even had a picture to prove what we say is correct. Every time we give him a bath, it feels like we're going to kill him, right? So realize it did come from his past life or whatever his last experience of his last incarnation that he was strong. We decided to help him overcome this. Not because he's afraid of water, so we're telling him, great, we will never take him to the water, but by introducing him water every day. So, instead of saying, oh, you're so scared, we don't go, we say, no, we will go every day. But then every time we were there, when he's so scared, when he's so frightened, this is the thing I say. I say, you have me. I'm with you. I'm with you. I will walk through this fear with you. You will never be alone. You will never die alone. That ain't gonna happen. But understand, I'm here with you the whole time to help you overcome this fear. We would do it together. So, many of you would think it worked right away. It didn't. It took me 9 years. 9 long years. For my son to be able to go to swimming pool, to be okay to go into the water and swim by himself. Throughout the years, we got talk after talk. No, this is survival skill you have to learn. You drown before, you ain't gonna happen again. You will have to do it, and I will be here with you along the way. I will always be here. So anyway, I shared my experience with his mom, and then I say, maybe that's something you can do. Not to encourage him to quit, but more saying, I will be here. I got you. I got you. It's okay. However you do it, whether you successfully die or not, it's okay. But I will be here with you, walking through this fear together. So anyway, the reason I brought this story to you, thanks to my client's case, very typical case. The reason I share with you is many of us go through struggle in life, go through, downtime, even including myself. I myself struggle with depression a couple times, or people around me suffer through depression several times. It's very often people, when we are in normal status, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do with them. Very often we want them, those people who suffer through depression or struggle in life or something, tell us what to do. Why don't you tell us what to do? Or very often we try to tell them what to do. The reason of that is because we were living in a society that continuously teach us to fix things. So if you're broken, something need to be fixed. What need to be fixed? We very eager to get advice to fix something. You know what I mean? Just fix it. Then you got no problem. Go out and have some walk. Get some sun. Have more friends. Just talk it out. Just do that. What's your problem? Just do that. It's very simple. Step 1, 2, 3. Just do it. What's wrong with you? It's very similar to the case that I'm sharing with you guys earlier. This particular case. A lot of time when we were in low, when we were depressed, when we are struggle through time, we don't really need a solution. We don't. All we need to know is someone is there. Someone is there. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes have you ever come back from a very lousy day at work and then you just want to rent? You don't really want anybody to fix you. You just simply want to rent. You simply want to let it all out. Same thing as when we were in low in our life. All we want is someone to be there. You know what I mean? So this is a time when I start, rethinking everything that I have done so far, or, I have learned so far. I start to realize sometimes what we can do for you is offering our company. You know what I mean? We don't have to fix your problem. We don't have to find a solution for you. We don't have to do anything for you. Really, we don't have to. But all we can do is let you know what? I'm here. I'll always be here. If you need me, I'll always be here. I go through this with you. I don't know what I can do. I can drink coffee with you. I can watch TV with you. but you will know I will always be here if you need me. So anyway, to many of you who write me email, private message, or things like that, want to know what you can do for your loved one if they suffer through life and all that. I'm here to give you advice, being the first party, being the person who struggles through depression, and being the person who deals with a lot of depression, client, and also people who suffer through a lot of, various things in their life. Sometimes I would say, instead of, running around trying to help them find a solution, maybe the best way you can say is the same thing I say to my kids is, I'm here, I got you, and I would go through this with you, no matter what. I will always be here. Sometimes I think all they need is your company, to know someone is there for them, right? That somehow, some way will give them some courage and make them believe, you know what, I'm not in this alone. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can face this, because at the end, our spirit guide know we will always find a way. And sometimes we just need to know someone is there with us. So anyway, just a little bit personal opinion to share with you all. Again, Happy New Year, Chinese New Year. If you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook, or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, next time. Bye.